Mercury represents the wife. Mercury, Virgo, and the sixth house all represent the wife. Say you have a Mercury in Aries. Say a man has a Mercury in Aries or Mercury in the first house, a Virgo in the first house, Aries sixth house. He dates really fiery women. He might date women who are affiliated with police, military, firefighting. They're really assertive. They're actionable. At their worst, they might be violent, okay? They might like to put hands on a man. And you as a wife, if you are a woman with Mercury in Aries, Mercury in the first house, Aries sixth, Virgo in the first, you may have conflict with the other woman too, okay? But you're a fiery woman in a man's life. You come along to help a man assert himself, to help a man with independence. You might even date men who are affiliated with the military, firefighting, police. Say a man has a Mercury in Taurus or Mercury in the second house, Taurus in the sixth, or Venus in the sixth, but Taurus Mercury associations, he attracts a hedonistic wife. She may have a soft tone of voice. She may have very hedonistic mannerisms. She may work in food, money, or housing, but he attracts a woman to help him with stability. He attracts a woman to help him. He may actually want to take care of a woman, considering that it's when you factor in the fact that it's a masculine being with Mercury and Taurus. Now, she might be a sugar mama to him, but he might want to take care of her financially. She might work in food, money, housing at a bank. I told y'all, I did a video on this already, but I figured I would do another one. But I told y'all about Christopher Guest and Jaime Lee Curtis, okay? Christopher Guest has a Mercury in Pisces. Jaime Lee Curtis manifested that man from a picture. And the video where Jaime Lee Curtis is talking about manifesting him, it's coming up later on in this video. She's literally sitting there with Drew Barrymore, a Pisces, okay? And Christopher Guest, I think I said this, but Christopher Guest has his Mercury in Pisces, so that explains his woman and why his woman manifested him from a picture. But Jaime Lee Curtis is sitting there talking to a Pisces about how she saw this man in a picture. Pictures are Pisces, okay? She saw him in a picture and said, that's gonna be my husband, and I think a month later. So Mercury is the wife. If you want to learn more about every Mercury and all the Virgo, it's really Virgo, okay? Virgo is the wife, okay? Mercury is the wife, but Mercury, your sixth house, and your Virgo house will add specificity. So specifically Virgo. Oh, Virgo is the sister wife and the lesbian too. So if you're a lesbian, you look at your Mercury, okay? You look at your Jupiter too for the doms and the studs, but Mercury and Virgo is where you start. But go to my Patreon to learn more. Virgo rules the wife. Mercury, Virgo, and your sixth house tell you about the kind of wife you are in lesbian relationships. In lesbian relationships, the dom is Jupiter, but you know, the femme is Virgo. But Virgo, the sixth house, and Mercury are all about your wife. And let me make sure they ain't coming for me. Every time I say something, they want to come and beat on me, child. Let me make sure they ain't coming out the closets and shit. My goodness, I make them mad. But Virgo is the wife, and let me give you the real life proof, as I always do. So let's start with Christopher Guest and Jaime Lee Curtis. They've been together for 46 years. Christopher Guest is a Mercury in Pisces opposing a Mars in Virgo. First of all, Mars in Virgo, why does that make sense? Jaime Lee Curtis, slasher flicks. Okay, his wife is very Martian. But you know, Jaime Lee Curtis manifested this man from a picture.
Wait, did you see a picture of your husband in a magazine?
I did. So, single.
Sounds a little manifesty.
It is a little manifesty. I was single. It was April of 1984. I was sitting on a couch with my friend Deborah Hill, who wrote and produced Halloween. We were looking at Rolling Stone. It was the issue with Cyndi Lauper on the cover, with her skirt going one way and her body going the other. And I opened the magazine, and there were a picture of three men with their arms around each other like that.
Was it Spinal Tap?
But it was just them in like regular clothes with their like shirts rolled up and just like, and there was a guy on the end, and I went to Deborah Hill. Oh, huh. Interesting. I'm going to marry that guy. She said, who? I said, that one right there. She goes, oh, yeah, he's an actor. His name is Chris Guest. I tried to put him in a movie. He's with your agents. And I was like, oh. And then the next page, of course, was them in Spinal Tap gear and leather and, you know, tongues out and things. Anyway, I called his agent, left my number with him, and then Chris did not call me. And I dated somebody else who wanted to date me. That was not a romance for me. kind of 2 months went by.
Uh-huh.
I took that person to the airport
Oh.
because they were going on a trip. And I left the airport, went back to West Hollywood, picked up Melanie Griffith and her then husband, Stephen Bauer.
Oh, my God, of course.
They lived on DeLongpre.
Yes.
And we went to Hugo's.
Yes.
On Santa Monica Boulevard.
Which is still there.
And I sat down at a table, and where this beautiful woman in the blue sweater is sitting, Chris was sitting 2 tables away facing me. And will you just wave with your hand like that? And I went like this. And then I was like, oh, God, there's this guy. I left my number, and he never called me. And then he got up to leave. Now, would you please stand up and shrug your shoulders? Sorry. Shrug your shoulders. And now just do the gesture of bye. Okay? And that's it. And then he left. Thank you. And then thank you.
Thank
What
you.
is your name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Trish.
Trish,
You're a
also-
dish. Okay, Trish the dish.
With the best eyeshadow. Go on.
Christopher shrugged his shoulders, went like this, but then I shrugged my shoulders and went like this, and he left. But then he called me the next day.
Oh!
I mean, first of all, she's sitting up there talking to Drew Barrymore, a Pisces, and then Drew Barrymore said that's kind of manifesting. That's the story behind Jaime Lee Curtis and her man. She manifested him. And his Mars in Virgo is opposing a Mercury in Pisces. I mean, I don't understand how that doesn't make sense. She looked at a picture of this man. Pisces rules pictures. And she said, I'm going to marry him. And then they met each other at the same place, haphazardly. I don't think that was planned. And then they communicate without words. Okay. David Beckham has his Mercury in Taurus and his Virgo in the 5th house. Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham is a fashion icon, and Victoria Beckham has been rich since she was a little girl. Victoria Beckham used to get embarrassed that her dad would drop her off, at school in his Rolls Royce. Then he has Mercury. David Beckham has Mercury in the 12th house in Taurus. Look. Mercury in the 12th house in Taurus. Leo, Virgo in the 5th, okay? I mean, the 5th house of performance. His wife is a performer, and she performs in groups. And look at this big old 6th house. He got Virgo. Virgo is the sign of girl groups. Libra, Scorpio, Uranus groups. Pluto, his 6th house is huge. And look at how much of his wife is a part of his life. Barack Obama has Mercury in Leo in the 6th house. I mean, Viola Davis, a Leo, played his wife in a movie. And then they made a movie about them. Leo in the 6th house, the kids. I mean, most couples have kids, but I mean, come on. They're like Barack Obama and Michelle are like a celebrity president couple. I mean, here it is right here. Oh, he has his sun in Leo. Oh, he has sun and Mercury in Leo in the 6th. That makes too much sense. Prince Harry has his sun in Virgo. Okay, any Virgo placement, any 6th house placement, any Mercury, they all work in tandem. And, to show you the physical expression of your wife, your sisters and all that. But the sun in Virgo, Meghan Markle, didn't he meet her on a game show? Or didn't she play on a game show? And then, she was famous. She was famous on a game show. The sun, games, fame. But it's in the 8th house, which means he has a Virgo, Libra, 8th house. The 8th house of transformation and endings. When he married her, he left the royal family. Okay, that ended. Okay, the 8th house, transformation and endings. And then he has a Cancer, Gemini, 6th house. Why does that make sense? Gemini, the news. Okay, Gemini, siblings. Gemini, community. Gemini, the news. Gemini, extended family. Cancer, motherhood. Princess Meghan Markle, which I don't think she's princess anymore, but female lineage. Princess Diana, the queen. Jay-Z, his 6th house is Aquarius, Pisces. What is Aquarius? Groups. What is Pisces? Music. Destiny's Child. What else is Pisces? Liquor. Both he and his wife have liquor companies, okay? And then his Mercury is in Sagittarius at 21 degrees in the 4th house. Sag is the father. The 4th house is the mother. how much of Beyonce's life? Her father was her manager, okay? She's always with her mother. Mercury and Sag, Mercury in the fourth, Mercury and Sag, your wife might be a daddy's girl. She may have had daddy issues, okay? Her father might become, your honorary father. Mercury in the fourth, Mercury in Cancer, motherhood. Your wife might be close to her mother. Her mother might become your honorary mother. But you see how they're both affiliated with Beyonce? And then on AstroSeek, Jay-Z is a Virgo rising with, 60% of that Virgo rising in his 12th house. The 12th house is the house of music, pictures, mass entertainment. He's married to Beyonce. Virgo in the first house, and I said Virgo is sisters. Virgo is how sisters and wives and women express in your world. First of all, Beyonce, okay? She became very first house, so his Pluto is in Virgo too, okay? Beyonce doing the whole good girl gone bad thing when she got with him. Beyonce is a Scorpio moon, Pluto in his first house. But Virgo is the first house of what? The Aries house of conflict and physical conflict. His wife's sister beat him up on an elevator. Mars in the sixth, and comment if you have Mars in the sixth, Aries in the sixth house, Virgo in the first, Mars in Virgo, Mars at 6 or 18 degrees, baby, that's a fire woman. That's a real fiery wife, okay? Like, I know an Aries in the sixth house who she drives up to her man's house to confront him, okay? And he's with the other woman. Virgo is all about the other woman, Beyonce, Becky with the good hair, okay? Oh my God. Dolly Parton, who's a Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, Jolene. But who redid Jolene of Virgo? Beyonce, okay? But my homegirl with Aries in her sixth house, you better believe she confronted her man, and her man had a woman in the car, okay? The woman gets out of the car, and my friend goes to get her pew-pew. Okay? Aries, the pew-pew. In the sixth house of women and how you deal with women. But the sixth house, your Virgo house, Mercury, they all tell you about your wife. Now go ahead and comment and tell me I'm right, okay? You got a Sag in the sixth house. Or with women, your life as a wife, the kind of woman that you are. Cancer rising, Sag, sixth house, you're wild. You're wild. And women, I'm a Cancer rising. Why do you think women fight me so hard? I have Mars and Sag in my sixth house. Women in my world may as well be men. Okay? Like, I know women who have went to fight their friends' fathers. Like, Taurus in the sixth house, women are associated with beauty careers, food, finance, real estate, housing, okay? Say you have Sagittarius in the sixth house, Jupiter in the sixth, or Virgo in the ninth. Virgo at 9 or 21 degrees, Jupiter at 6 or 18 degrees, you might date somebody you might have a foreign wife. You might be the foreign wife, or the wife that's in school, or the wife with daddy issues, the wife who's a daddy's girl. Mercury is the woman of the zodiac. Mercury is the wife of the zodiac. Mercury, 6, Virgo, your sixth house. Any placements you have at 6 degrees or 18 degrees, that is the wife. Women, that's the wife you are. Men and dominant partners, more masculine partners, that's the wife or the woman that you attract. Rihanna and Meg Thee Stallion both have Mercury in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about shocking car incidents. In fact, I have a Mercury in Aquarius friend. That's the woman that's going to lift you up from your social norms. That's the woman that's going to come along and be the humanitarian wife, the wife who has a nonprofit, the highly intellectual wife, the wife who your other family asks, or your family might ask who the hell she thinks she is because she's lifting you up from the family. But Rihanna's Mercury in Aquarius is at 13 degrees. That's an Aries degree. That makes a lot of sense considering what happened between her and Chris Brown. Her helping A$AP Rocky through his gun trial, 13, 1 Aries guns. Meg Thee Stallion's Mercury in Aquarius is at 5 degrees, a Leo degree. Tory Lanez is a Leo, okay? Beyonce's Mercury in Libra is at 3 degrees. First of all, Mercury in Libra wives, you are close to your family. Look at Beyonce. My stepmom, a Mercury in Libra, and my dad was a Gemini Venus. They mutually receive each other. A whole bunch of family on both sides. Like, my dad still talks to some of my stepmom's family. My stepmom still talks to some of my dad's family, extended family and relatives. And then Beyonce's Mercury in Libra is at 3 degrees. Mind you, I thought this was interesting too. Her Lilith in Scorpio is at 27 degrees. Her wife planet Mercury is at 3 degrees of siblings. Her Lilith is in Scorpio at 27 degrees of siblings, and look at what her sister did to her man on that elevator. But say you have Mercury in Aries at 1 degree, 13 degrees, 25 degrees, or in the first house, that's a fire woman. Your wife, or you as a wife, you might be affiliated with military, police, firefighting. You might be defensive. You might be really fighty, conflict oriented. Mercury at 2 degrees in Taurus, Mercury in the second house, Mercury at 14 degrees or at 26 degrees, you're the Taurus wife. Your men may complement your voice. You might be associated with food, money, housing, real estate, banks. And welcome to this video about Mercury and the wife. You're the show wife. You might be the best thing he's ever had in all different types of ways. You might be the performer. You might be affiliated with kids, or you might date people who perform, entertain, they sing, they dance, they deal with kids, daycares, playgrounds. Mercury in Scorpio, Mercury in the 8th house, Mercury at 8 degrees or 20 degrees, or Mercury aspecting Pluto. You're the deep wife, okay? You're the deep wife. You've dug up his secrets. You empower widows or widowers, and you might meet your partner in a situation involving death, transformation, birth, marriage. You might feel like the secret sometimes. Like Mercury in Pisces, Mercury at 12 degrees, Mercury at 24 degrees, Mercury in the 12th house. Baby, you're the spiritual psychic wife. You might have come along after a mental health break or in a pregnancy battle, or when your partner was having some type of spiritual transformation. You may have provoked a spiritual transformation. They may have cried to you or released some